So this is the Very First Reading Parents Guide. It comes with your Very First Reading set. It starts out talking about the Very First Reading set. It talks about how you can use it at home or at school. It talks about how this is shared reading for the first 7 books and how to use the rest of the books. It talks about the puzzles, the stories, how there's even a website that you can use. It talks about phonics. It talks about synthetic phonics and how that works. It tells you all about the irregular words that are used in here and why and how they work together. And this last little bit here says, Very First Reading proves that it is possible to tell inspired, imaginative stories based on a rigorous phonic framework, giving children both the phonic skills and the motivation to become successful readers, which is exactly what we've seen with this program in our own home. Then there's a section with questions and answers, talks about when you should start reading, if your child's already started reading, how to help them not become confused with things that they're being taught at school. It mentions the online help. Veryfirstreading.com is a great website with advice and teaching for your kids, an audio guide to pronouncing phonemes, other things like that. Then in the last little bit here, you're gonna see sample pages from each of the 15 books. And it's gonna tell you how to use them for each of the books that we have in this series, okay? At the very end, there's a sheet that says, what's next? And once the kids have learned to read all of the books in Very First Reading, we have so much that supports them in their next steps. And so this gives you some ideas of level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. If there are books in this list here that we do not currently have, we can help you find books that are of that same level. So I wanted to very quickly go into the first book, Pirate Pat, and show you what it looks like inside. So when you open it, you have this first page, how this book works, and it tells you all about how the book is put together, the part that you read, the part your kid reads, and then as you go through it, it's just a funny story. The kids love these stories because they're imaginative and they're hilarious. And then as you get to the back of the book, you're going to see puzzles and activities that your kids can do to help reinforce the reading learning that they're doing. And then at the very back, you're going to have the answers to the puzzles and a little guide that is for the parents to help you in your efforts to teach your kids to read. For example, it's going to answer questions like, what if my child gets stuck? We've finished, now what do we do? And then in the back, it just has pictures of the rest of the books in the series. So as I mentioned, there are 15 books in the series. I just showed you book 1, Pirate Pat. On to book 15, this shows you kind of where this series ends. So as you get past the 7th book, the books are no longer in shared reading where the parent has one page and the child has the other page. Now your child is reading independently by the last book in the series. And you can see that the kind of words that the kids are going to be reading by the end of making it through the series. And same thing with book 15, the books towards the end. They still have puzzles in the end, and they have the parents' guidance notes that help you learn what you need to do with this specific book to help your kids learn to read. This is such a great set, 15 books and a parent's guide, plus the added support of the online website. I think you're gonna love it.